You're listening to the Superpower Podcast, Superpower Kids Edition, where author, philanthropist, and Superpower Kids founder Neva Lee Recla inspires kids to discover their superpowers and change the world.
Hi everyone, this is your Superpower Kid, Neva Lee Recla, and today is an amazing interview. Today our guest is Josh Johnson, and Josh is also known as Sparkle Josh. He's a design expert and a television host on HGTV. And today we'll be talking with Josh, Change Your World by Design. So without further ado, will you help me welcome our amazing guest, Josh Johnson. Hi, Josh.
Hi, Neva. Thanks so much for that great introduction. It's so wonderful to finally get to meet you.
It's so amazing to have you on the show, and I'm so excited for this interview.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being on. So, what are your superpowers?
Wow, that's a big question. I think that my superpower is basically making things, situations, circumstances beautiful. That can be a physical space, or it could be a spiritual space, but those things I think are very important, and your surroundings also affect your mood. So when I walk into a room or a space or something I need to create, it's a challenge. And I really think that my superpower is to make those things not only just palatable and kind of medium level, but also very memorable and tasteful and beautiful.
Awesome. That's a good superpower to have. So how do you design your life?
How do I design my life? Well, you know what? I think it's ever changing, Neva, because we learn something new every day. Design is always changing. Design is like trend. It's like fashion. So I translate that into my life. I design my life around the people in my life, which are the most important thing. Family and friends are the most important thing. People are the most important thing. And then everything else falls underneath that. So I design my life around how I can serve others and help others. And then as far as what I do for my job and those kind of things, making things beautiful, that's a little bit more down the list. But if I take care of those first things, take care of people and how they are being treated and how they are doing in their lives, that's how I design my life.
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely design my life. Kind of how you do it is make sure the places I'm at are good, high vibrations. I make sure the people I'm around really support me. So I think what you're saying is spot on.
Yes. Support is key.
Exactly. So what's your favorite event that you've designed so far?
My favorite event, I would have to say, I do a lot of award shows here in Los Angeles. And so the biggest one I do every year is the Emmys. And it's a big show with television and movie stars. And so what I do there, Neva, is I come backstage and I create this space. It's kind of in a big kind of theater, but backstage the spaces are kind of cold and concrete. So I have to create a beautiful space for the award winners and the other A-list celebrities and the presenters and the performers get to come and kind of lounge. They can have pictures done there. They can have interviews there, but it's just really making a pretty space that reflects the event and is a good space for people to just do those things.
That's awesome. So how can kids design their life and make it even more awesome and amazing? Well, you know what?
I think I'm quite a bit older than you, Neva. So when I was your age, we didn't have the access to information anywhere from social media to the internet. We didn't have those kinds of things. So we were pretty much outside all day long, getting to, play with our friends in the neighborhood, going to things after school or doing things with our church, things like that. So I think all that is wonderful. And I think there needs to be a healthy balance. So kids today, I think it's so great to have this access, like what you've got right now. We're talking on this medium. We're getting to exchange, in two different cities, two different locations, and getting to share information and go over those things and have this benefit of technology and social media and those kinds of things. But I think it's very important in the design, especially if you're young like you, to have those things but be able to put them away and then be a kid and like go outside and play and have fun and not worry so much about what's happening, on the media, on on whatever you're on, Instagram, Facebook, just to be, and it's pretty important for adults too, but kids really need to know that there's other things that exist rather than just social media platforms and video games and computers. It's being with your friends and making friends and knowing how to interact with people.
Exactly. That's a really good advice. So, who are some of the cool people you have met?
The cool people I have met. As far as people, I mean, I've met all kinds of cool people, whatever status they may be in as far as celebrity or anything else. Some of the coolest people I've met, as far as, and you may not even know some of these people, but maybe you do. LL Cool J was pretty cool. I got to meet him. He was a great guy. Very nice, very down to earth. Angela Bassett was another major actress I got to meet that was wonderful. Viola Davis, Queen Latifah. Some people here in Los Angeles that I actually got to meet behind the scenes and got to talk to them. And we talked about just meeting, first of all, and then what design was like and if they had anything that I could help them with, that kind of thing. But there's some pretty amazing people, not only in that realm, but also people behind the scenes that make productions happen. That's really, really hard work and really, really has to have a really dedicated team for production and creating everything that you see on television and beyond. And then I have to say probably the most amazing people are what I would call my chosen family that I have here in Los Angeles, because I'm originally from Nashville. So all of my real family is over there. My kinfolk are over there, but I've had to create a family here in Los Angeles, and those what I call my people are called my chosen family, and those are with my church. So I hang out a lot with those people. We do not only church on Sundays, but we do a lot of social things outside. We have fun together. So again, kind of designing my life around people, and those people are probably the most amazing people because, like you said, support. Those are the people that support me and love me, and the people that I can really count on. So those are the most amazing people.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I don't know all those people. I haven't heard their names before, but they sound really awesome.
You don't know them yet, right?
I don't know them yet.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
I definitely support myself around, like, my parents or my really good friends who I know for sure, like, people who are kind of doing what I'm doing.
Right.
So, yeah. I love what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's such a blessing. I saw your dad earlier. Like, it's such a blessing to have that support and having great parents like you have that support you and what you're doing and your dreams. It's really, really encouraging to other kids.
Yeah. So we actually have to take a quick break.
Okay.
But really fast, where can people go to find out more about you?
I have a couple of places that people can visit. There's joshjohnsonhome.com. That's my official website. I'm on Facebook at facebook.com/SparkleJosh. And all of my other handles for Instagram and Twitter are at SparkleJosh.
Awesome. Well, go check him out because he's amazing. So we've been talking with Josh Johnson about Change Your World by Design. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
Are you here to change the world? Do you talk about things like vibration, frequency, awakening, and consciousness? Are you pretty sure you have superpowers? The Superpower Net is unlike normal coaching programs and conscious communities. We provide training, intuitive guidance, peer-to-peer learning, intensive one-on-one coaching, and a high vibrational network of people just like you. When you join the net, you get 24/7 access to a collaborative group of people who support you as you master your personal power and unlock your superpowers. If you're ready to use your superpowers to change the world, then join the Superpower Net today. Visit superpowerexperts.com/thenet to learn more.
Okay, we're back and we've been talking with Josh Johnson about Change Your World by Design. So we need to actually do funny FaceTime. So Squiggles will join us and she will make funny faces as well. So we have to make our funniest faces in 3, 2, 1, go.
I don't know if that was funny or scary. It's probably a little bit of both. So.
Well, mine is one that I normally do. It's the
Right.
So I have a couple of kid-related questions for you. So what were you like as a kid?
You know what, Neva? As a kid, I was a little bit of a loner. I had friends, but I like to be by myself a lot. I like to play by myself a lot. I was really into music and really into also design at that point too, but I didn't really know what design was. I just knew that I liked to move things around in my room or help my mom around the house, that kind of thing. So that's what I did. I was really, I had some really close friends, but those are just, 1 or 2 or 3 close friends that I hung around with. And then coming up and as I got older in middle school and high school, of course, I got more friends and that kind of thing and came into that. But as a kid, maybe, from up until 10 or 12 years old, I had my couple of friends and kind of hung out with them and sometimes by myself. So
yeah, that's cool. Most of my friends are adults, to be honest.
Right.
So I do have a couple of kid friends that I hang out with sometimes.
Right.
But
exactly.
When you're saying you like moving stuff around in your room, that reminds me of how I like to organize stuff.
Yes.
Like yesterday, our closet, like where we keep all of our plastic bags and stuff.
Right.
I guess you could call it our coat closet.
Right.
I opened it and I'm like, this is really messy.
Right.
So it was like 10 o'clock. So I grabbed my iPad, turned on YouTube, and moved stuff around, and now it's organized. So like if my parents tell me, go clean your room, I'm like, do you mean organize my room?
Right.
Like I don't like the word clean. I like the word organize.
That's a positive spin for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I think that's great, Neva. And what I usually, and this is even as an adult, like it's so easy for things to get out of place. Like you're like, oh, I'll put it back in, tomorrow. And that those things keep piling up. What I tell myself, like with my clothes in my closet, like you were just talking, but with my clothes in my closet, I love my clothes and I've got a lot of them. But I have to consciously tell myself, okay, when you take this off, you need to hang it back up. Like, or it's going to pile up and it's going to take you an hour the next day or, a couple of days from now to clean everything up, put it in the laundry, those kinds of things. So that's about organization and planning too. Plan and motivate yourself to be like, okay, yeah, no matter how tired I am, I kind of really need to put this away. So when I come back into my space, it will be clean and organized and it will give me a fresh, mindset and able to start the day. So I agree totally on organizing. I
went through a phase where anytime I took something off, I threw it in the dirty clothes.
Right.
Even if it wasn't dirty.
That's a way of organizing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, or if something fell into the dirty clothes that was like literally just washed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, whatever.
Right.
Like, I'll take care of it.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, and then my mom goes to do the laundry and she's like, you never wore this. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
It still has the tags on it or something, right?
Yeah. So you are a really brave person is something I've noticed about you. But were you always like that?
You know what, Neva? I wasn't. I kind of what we talked about a second ago about just being a quiet kind of kid and like stayed in my own spaces and had just a few friends and that kind of thing. Until I really realized I would say probably around 10 or 12 years old, that that I had a purpose and that purpose cannot be affiliated with silence or separation, that I had to be in the world and I had to be seen and heard. So it didn't happen immediately, but since then it's about emboldening yourself and encouraging yourself. And then knowing that you were put on the earth for a purpose to serve others and help others in your way, in your lane. So you're helping others by what you do on your broadcast and these awesome inspirational things that you talk with people about and get those exchange and information. My lane is, okay, I'm going to make these things beautiful. I'm going to make people happy and help them make memories and things like that. So, that's kind of where what I came into. It's a gradual process and it's never going to end. We keep growing, we keep conquering levels so we can go to the next level, to be like kind of a video game reference. But yeah, we conquered all this stuff. So we won here. And so it's time to go to the next level, because what happens down here is we get ourselves prepared. So everything is preparation. everything we go through is preparation for the next year.
Exactly. And like me, I wasn't always brave. Like, for example, there went through a time where I would hide behind my parents. Like, that's how I was. But I normally only do that now if a kid is staring at me.
Right.
Because when I find some kids, they stare at each other.
Yes.
And I'm like, it's really creepy. So that's when I hide behind my parents.
Right.
But it's like, stop staring at me.
Right.
I don't like it. It's uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah. No one
that happened to me at a plane. And this kid was just like, and so I went. It was when we were onboarding.
Right.
So I ducked underneath the chair that I was sitting in. And I was like, that is weird. Like, I don't stare at other people.
Right.
That's.
Right. I know. Most of the time you can, I mean, I know it's difficult, but like the power lies with you. And as you are a superpower kid, I mean, I think that, just like you just said, if you smile at them or you acknowledge them, it kind of breaks that. And then they're like, oh, it's a real person. There's not a threat. And then, I mean, even sometimes you don't even have to say anything. It's just in your facial expression or the way that you kind of acknowledge them that they will kind of breaks them out. But hey, that happens with adults too, probably more so than kids, but for different reasons. But yeah, it's always, you're never going to lose with a smile ever. It's in that way that you're able to put it back in their court and say, hey, this is me. I'm smiling at you. I acknowledge you.
Exactly.
That's all you can do, really.
Sometimes I just wave. I go.
Which is great. Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Because it's like that. Did that happen to you when you were a kid?
Oh, all the time. All the time. It happens now, like all the time too, because I mean, I'm a guy that's tall, that got long blonde hair, and like there are other guys, that have long blonde hair too, but like it's not the norm, and I get that, but it's part of who I am. It's part of my brand. So I just claim it and I own it. So, but I'm used to people. And most of the time people are kind and they want to pay you a compliment, or they say, whether it's what you're wearing or what your hair looks like or something that you said, but it's about, giving them, empowering them after they give you the compliment to say thank you, and not because if you don't acknowledge the compliment, then it kind of insults them.
Then they're like,
right, yeah, right. So and so you're kind of like giving their gift back, and they're like, no, I really want you to have this gift of a compliment and positive commentary. So yeah, it happens a lot. It happens with everybody, adults too. Grown up, yes.
So we actually need to do Super Neva questions.
Love it.
So I'll ask you a couple of questions, and you have to answer them as fast as you can.
Okay. All right.
Are you ready?
I'm from the South, so I'm pretty slow in the answering, so we'll try to.
All right.
For the Super Neva.
Ready?
Yeah.
Set. What's your favorite color?
Aqua.
Ooh. What's your favorite animal?
Koala bear.
Ooh. Do you have any pets?
No.
Would you rather live in a hot fudge hot tub that works, or a giant pool filled with marshmallows this big?
Probably the marshmallow pool. Probably that.
Would you rather be able to float on a cloud, like be able to like touch a cloud physically, or would you rather be able to levitate?
Levitate, because you can control the height, and I don't like height, so that clouds are too high in the sky. I'm too scared of height.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is plain old pizza.
Pizza?
Yes.
I like that. To think. If you could say one thing to kids that are being bullied, what would you say?
I would say it will get better. It will get better.
That's really cool. That's really cool. And I think that's right, because kids go through a phase that they're being bullied. Not even kids, adults too. They go through a phase of being bullied, and sometimes they feel like, oh, it's never going to end. But then it gets to a point that's like, oh, it's They don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I would also give some advice is, like, find somebody to talk to. Like, don't hold it up all inside of you. And something else you can do is try to stand in your power. Like, don't try to get back at them or anything, because that's going to suck butt in the future. But you can, like, kind of just be yourself and find a group of people that support you.
That are like you, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very important to impact. If you're around people that are like you, and they're automatically they're supportive because you have a commonality. You're part of a group. But I was going to say that even before you said it, is that for kids or people, like, if they're going through that, it's important to get with someone that they trust, whether it's a parent or a teacher, and say, look, this is happening to me, and to not be quiet, not shut up about it until something, is done. I mean, if you're being bullied or threatened or feel unsafe, it's so important to tell yourself, I've got to be strong and I've got to tell somebody because I feel good about this and I'm scared. So that's a really good point that you brought up, is that to find someone that you trust and to tell them and to keep telling them until things change. Yeah.
So that was really actually pretty fast. So I give you kudos for that.
Oh, thank you. Pretty fast. Good.
But we sadly have to end up wrapping up.
Okay.
So let's remind people where they can go to find out more about you.
Sure. You can visit my website at joshjohnsonhome.com. That's my official website. Also, I'm on Facebook.com/Josh. And then all of my handles are at SparkleJosh. So SparkleJosh.
Yep. So go check him out. Again, he is awesome. So would you like to join us in the sign-off?
I would love to do the sign-off. That privilege is pretty terrific. Thanks.
All right. Remember, kids, we all have superpowers, and
we can change the world.
All right. Thank you so much, Josh.
Thanks, Neva. It was great meeting you.
Great meeting you. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Superpower Up Podcast, Superpower Kids Edition. Go now to superpowerkids.com and discover your superpowers today.